All the problems on the finding the derivative of an analytic functions. So today we are going to solve the problems here. So that is on finding the derivative of an analytic function. Finding the derivative of an analytic function. So here, to solve this kinds of the example, the procedure will be given. So how to solve or how to find the derivative of an analytic function. So procedure is here. So first they give you the f of z. First they define the f of z, that is nothing but a w. So f of z will be given. We substitute wherever z, substitute either a Cartesian form or the polar form. Either substitute z equal to x plus iy or z equal to r into e raised to I theta. Here, based on the given function, we have to decide either a substitute or either go with the Cartesian form or polar form. That we have to decide based on the given function. So you will get the clear idea when we start the example here. So that to find first after substituting that, to find the real and imaginary, find the real and imaginary parts. Find the real and imaginary parts u and v. First substitute a z in the function f of z, that is f of z equal to u plus iv. Make a separations of u and v, make a separations of real and imaginary parts, and after that you will get a u and v. First substitute the z and then make the separations of real and imaginary parts, where u and v are the functions of x and y, or else r and theta. If you take on the z equal to x plus y, you will get the real and imaginary parts in terms of x and y. If you substitute a polar form, you will get the real and imaginary parts in terms of r and theta here. So which one is convenient, that will be decided based on the given equation. So what is the next step? So in the next step, we first find a first order partial derivatives. Find a first order partial derivatives. Find the first order partial derivatives and verify Cauchy-Riemann equation Cauchy-Riemann equations. First we have to find out the first order partial derivatives and we have to verify the Cauchy-Riemann equation in the second step. If you taken the function in terms of the Cartesian form, then verify the Cartesian form of the Cauchy's equation. If you taken the polar form, then take the polar form of the Cauchy's equation. So that is the Cauchy's equation in the Cartesian form. Cauchy's equation in the Cartesian form or polar form. To conclude that f of z is analytic. By verifying the Cauchy-Riemann equations, we have to conclude that the given function is analytic. After making the conclusion that f of z is analytic, first we have to verify that f of z is analytic or not. To verify that f of z is analytic or not, we have to cross check the Cauchy-Riemann equations. So that is the second step. In the first step, first we have to substitute a z, either the polar form or Cartesian form based on the given equation. After substituting the z, then we have to make the separations of real and imaginary parts. After making the separations of real and imaginary parts, we have to identify the u and v. Those u and v are either in the functions of x and y if you taken the substitutions of the Cartesian form, or else you will get a r and theta if you taken the polar form. After taking the separations of real and imaginary parts, after getting the u and v, you have to take the first order partial derivatives of the u and v. So from those first order partial derivatives, you have to cross check the Cauchy-Riemann equations. So cross checking of the Cauchy-Riemann equations will give the conclusion that the given function is analytic or not. If the Cauchy-Riemann equations are satisfied, then the given function is analytic, or else it is not a analytic. After that, so the next step is, so in the next step, so we have to find the derivative of f of z. Here, to find the derivative of f of z, we have to use the fundamental results we have used while establishing this Cauchy-Riemann equations. Means, whatever the terms we have established or whatever the derivatives we have done in this verification of the Cauchy-Riemann equations, those will be again used to find the derivative of f of z. So here we know that f of z equal to u plus iv. If you want to find the derivative in terms of the Cartesian, means if you take substitutions of all the terms in the Cartesian form, then you have to find the f dash is also in terms of the Cartesian form. So here the f dash of z equal to ux plus ivx, ux plus ivx. Here these ux is nothing but dou u by dou x plus I into dou v by dou x. So that is your derivative of f dash of z. Otherwise, if you taken the f of z equal to u plus iv, if you taken in the polar form, then find f dash of z. Here the f dash of z equal to e raised to minus I theta into bracket ur plus I into VR, that is the polar form, and this one is Cartesian form. UR is nothing but the dou u by dou r, VR is nothing but the dou v by dou r. These will be already funded in the second step to verify the Cauchy-Riemann equations. So these fundamental results will be used in the third step also. Whatever the ux, vx or else ur, vr we have finded in the second step to verify the Cauchy-Riemann equations, those results will be again used in this third procedure. After substituting these ux and vx or ur and ivr, then the next step we have to be arrange the functions. We have to rearrange the functions to get the entire function in terms of z. We substitute for the partial derivatives and rearrange the functions of x plus iy or r e raised to I theta, which is in terms of z, to get the f dash of z in terms of a z. So fourth step states that whatever we substitute a partial derivatives, after substituting we substitute a partial derivatives and then rearrange the terms or rearrange as a function of, we have to arrange the terms as a function of x plus iy or r into e raised to I theta, because to substitute it as a z, we have to rearrange as a function of x plus iy or r into e raised to I theta, because which is z. With the result f dash of z is obtained. With this result we get a f dash of z as a function of z. Don't get confused in the fourth step. After substituting the partial derivatives, we have to arrange the terms as a function x plus iy or as a function r into e raised to I theta to make a resubstitution of z, because to get the f dash of z in terms of the function z here. So we'll get the clear idea when you solve the example here. I'm just recalling the procedure here. First you have to take the substitution either in the polar form or Cartesian form. Any one form will be continued based on the given equation. You have to decide which one you have to be choose. It will not be given. You have to decide it. If you take the Cartesian form or polar form, whatever, find the real and imaginary parts by making the separation of the terms. You will get the u and v. So u and v will either in the function of x and y or in the functions of r and theta. Based on the substitution it will be obtained. So after that you have to find out the partial derivatives of the u and v, ux vy, vx vx, uy vy, because to check the Cauchy-Riemann equation. After checking the Cauchy-Riemann equation, if it is satisfied, then we declare that given function is analytic. After stating the function is analytic, our next procedure is to find out the derivative. So to find the derivative of f of z, we have to use again the fundamental results those we have established in the second step to verify this Cauchy-Riemann equation. Those are ux vx. Here the f dash of z equal to ux plus ivx, then the polar Cartesian form. In the polar form, f dash of z equal to e raised to minus I theta into ur plus ivr. Those are the Cartesian and polar form of the derivative of f of z. Whatever the results we have used in the second step, those will be again used in the f dash of z. So in the f dash of z again we substitute all the ux vx, and then in the next step we have to, after substituting the partial derivatives, we have to rearrange the terms as a function x plus iy or else r into e raised to I theta. By converting this to a function, we can easily substitute a z, and then we get the result f dash of z as a function of z here. That is the procedure of solving the example here. So when we solve the example, it will give the clear idea of the function here. So I am now taking the example here. So the first example is, take down the example. So that the first one is, show that w equal to z plus e raised to z is analytic, and hence find dw by dz, So from the given data we taken a w equal to z into e raised to z. So if we take the z equal to r into e raised to I theta, we cannot make the separations of variables, means we cannot make the separations of real and imaginary parts here. So that I am taking the substitution of z in terms of Cartesian form. So we know that w equal to u plus iv, and I am taking the substitution z equal to x plus iy plus e raised to x plus iy. Now we have to make the separations of real and imaginary parts here. So x plus iy plus e raised to x into e raised to iy. Now we know that x plus iy plus e raised to x, we know that e raised to I theta equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. So that we taken the substitution here. E raised to iy equal to cos y plus I sin y. Now open the bracket. X plus iy plus e raised to x into cos y plus I into e raised to x into sin y. Just open the bracket here. Now we have to make the separations of real and imaginary parts. So this one is real and this one is real. Write on it on one side, e raised to x plus e raised to x into cos y. Now these two are imaginary terms. Take a I as a common. Write down the remaining function now. Remaining is y plus e raised to x sin y. Now I made it the separations of real and imaginary terms. Now compare it with your LHS here. So u equal to x plus e raised to x cos y, v equal to y plus e raised to x sin y. So in the first step we have to decide which we have to take the substitution, either the polar or Cartesian. Here Cartesian is convenient to simplify, so that we have taken the Cartesian form. So z equal to x plus iy, e raised to z equal to e raised to x plus iy, means substitute z equal to x plus iy, and w is u plus iv as usual. So x plus iy plus e raised to x into e raised to iy. E raised to iy means we have taken the formula, that is e raised to I theta equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. So that e raised to x plus iy equal to e raised to x into e raised to iy. So e raised to iy will be taken the substitution cos y plus I sin y. So this cos y plus I sin y will open with the bracket e raised to x. So e raised to x into cos y plus I into e raised to x sin y. Now make the separations of real and imaginary terms. So these two are real terms, so x plus e raised to x cos y. These two are imaginary terms, take the I common. So remaining is y plus e raised to x sin y. After making the separation of the terms, now we have to find out the partial derivatives of the functions. So first you have to find out the dou u by dou x or else ux. Derivative of x is 1. So the derivative of x is 1. Derivative of e raised to x is e raised to x. Cos y will be constant, keep as it is. Next, derivative of v with respect to x, partial derivative, that is vx. Derivative of y is 0 because constant, plus derivative of e raised to x is e raised to x. Sin y will be as it is. Now uy equal to derivative of x is 0 plus keep a e raised to x constant as it is. Derivative of cos y is minus sin y. Come to here, vy equal to derivative of y is 1 plus e raised to x into derivative of sin y is cos. Now we observe the Cauchy-Riemann equations. Observe the CR equations. Now we have to observe the CR equations in the Cartesian form. So CR equations in the Cartesian form is ux equal to vy and vx equal to minus uy. Now I substitute here. Ux is 1 plus e raised to x cos y. Vy is also 1 plus e raised to x cos y. Satisfied. Now vx equal to e raised to x sin y minus into bracket uy equal to minus e raised to x sin y, minus of minus plus e raised to x sin y. So satisfied. CR equations. CR equations are satisfied. Hence, f of z is analytic. Hence, our given f of z is analytic here. Now we have to find out the derivative of the f of z. So first we take the substitution, and after that we have making the separations of real and imaginary terms. After making the separations of real and imaginary terms, we have to find out the first derivatives, partial derivatives, ux, vx, uy, vi, and then we cross check the CR equations. So here the CR equations are satisfied. Hence we declare that f of z is analytic. So we have declared that w equal to z plus e raised to z is analytic. Means a given function is analytic. So here z is means w is the analytic, means now we have to find out dw by dz equal to, means f dash of z equal to, we have already know the f dash of z in the Cartesian form because we have used the Cartesian substitutions. So f dash of z equal to ux plus ivx. So ux and ivx we have already find it, so that f dash of z equal to ux equal to 1 plus e raised to x cos y plus I into vx equal to e raised to x sin y. E raised to x sin y. Now we have to try to make the conversion of the terms to get the in terms of x plus iy. So now I want to make 1 plus e raised to x cos y, e raised to x cos y plus I into e raised to x sin y. In these two terms e raised to x is common. First I take the e raised to x common. Remaining is cos y plus I sin y. So cos y plus I sin y, cos theta plus I sin theta equal to e raised to I theta. So cos y plus I sin y equal to e raised to iy. Now 1 plus e raised to x into e raised to iy equal to e raised to x plus iy. E raised to x plus iy, x plus iy will have a substitution e raised to z. So that we have to make the resubstitution. So that is rearrange the terms as a function of x plus iy. After conversion of the x plus iy, take a substitution of z and you will get the f dash of z in terms of the z. So after concluding that f of z is analytic, we have to go for the f dash of z. Here we have continuing with the Cartesian, so that substitute ux and vx. After taking the substitutions of ux and vx, you have to make the terms, means you have to rearrange the terms as a function of x plus iy. Because to get the function f dash of z in terms of a z, to substitute z equal to x plus iy, we have to rearrange the terms as a function x plus iy or r into e raised to I, that is in the polar form that we will discuss in the later. But as related to this example, you have to convert the function as x plus iy. After converting them into a form of x plus iy, so I take a substitution x plus iy equal to z, and we get the f dash of z in terms of function of z here. So I am going for the next example here. Write down the next example. Show that w equal to log z, where z is not equal to 0, is analytic, and hence find dw by dz. So when you start the procedure, take a first w equal to log z. Now we have to decide either we have to follow the Cartesian or polar. So follow any procedure, but you have to decide which one we have to choose, where you will get the separation of real and imaginary parts. See here, if you take with the z equal to x plus iy, if you take z equal to x plus iy, you already know that log of x plus iy have the form log x plus log of iy. So it will not give the clear real and imaginary parts, because imaginary parts means I into some function, correct? But here we cannot separate the terms here, means we cannot get a real and imaginary parts separately, so that Cartesian form is not possible. So we have to take the substitution in terms of, means it will not be convenient to follow the it will not be means it will not be convenient to solve the problem in the Cartesian form here. So that we have taken the example in the polar form here. So because it is convenient to solve the example in the polar form, so that we have taken the polar form here. So log of z equal to r into e raised to I theta. In the polar form, z equal to r into e raised to I theta. Now log of ab means log a plus log b. Now log r plus, we know that log of m raised to n equal to n log m, means I theta into log e. Log e is always 1. Log e is always 1. So that it becomes log r plus I into theta. So now we have made it the separations of real and imaginary terms. Now compare it with your w equal to u plus iv. W equal to u plus iv. So u equal to log r, coefficients of I is v, so v equal to theta. So we have taken the polar form here, so that be careful, don't get confused with your previous. So in the first derivative, ur equal to means partial derivative. Derivative of log r is 1 by r. Now vr, derivative of v with respect to r partially. So theta is your constant. Derivative of the constant is 0. Now u theta equal to derivative of u partially with respect to theta. So r is a constant. Derivative of the constant is 0. Now v theta equal to derivative of v partially with respect to theta is 1. Now we have the CR equations. CR equations in the polar form. So in the polar form, our CR equations are r into ur equal to v theta and r into vr equal to minus u theta. So just cross check, either they are satisfied. R into ur is 1 by r, v theta is 1, r get cancelled, 1 equal to 1. Now r into vr is 0 minus u theta is 0. 0 into something is 0, 0 into something is 0. So hence CR equations satisfied. If CR equations are satisfied, we conclude that f of z is analytic. So first we have find out the first order derivatives, means first we have taken the substitution of z, and then we find it making the separations of real and imaginary parts. After that we find out the first order partial derivatives, and then we find out the means we cross check the CR equations. So here the CR equations are satisfied, we conclude that f of z is analytic. So now we have to prove that, means now we have to find out the f dash of z here. So thus w equal to log z is analytic. W equal to log z is analytic. So now we have to find out the f dash of z. So f dash of z in the polar form is e raised to minus I theta into ur plus I into vr. So here we have already find out the ur. Ur is 1 by r plus I into vr is 0. So that the function is 1 by r into e raised to minus I theta. Take the e raised to minus I theta into the denominator, that becomes 1 divided by r into e raised to I theta. We already know that r into e raised to I theta equal to z. So f dash of z equal to 1 by z. So we get the function in terms of z. So after concluding the analytic, so we know the formula of the f dash of z, that is e raised to minus I theta into ur plus ivr. Substitute the ur and vr. After substituting the ur and vr, we take on the 1 by r into e raised to minus I theta. E raised to minus I theta will be taken to the denominator. So directly we get the function in terms of z. So we take on the substitution. So that f dash of z equal to 1 by z. So that is our function. Means that is our derivative of the analytic function.